The tough thing, both as a player and as a coach, is that it's millimeters between the happiest day of your life and disaster. Many people have asked me, did you expect to win more slams? And I said no, because I knew that I was very fortunate. I had a lot of luck. As a coach, you also have to be, even though you're freaking dying and crying inside, you have to support the player. That is the most difficult thing. When you see that your player does everything, fights, competes, does everything and still goes down, it's tough. Just make one commitment before the first match. You fight. You fight, you run for everything. I don't care about the level, but you fight and you don't complain.
Hi, I am Caroline Garcia.
And I am Borja Duran.
Welcome to Tennis Insider Club. This is a podcast where the top tennis players open up like never before.
From Grand Slam champions to rising stars, they tell their stories in their own words. Subscribe now on your favorite platform and don't miss an episode. Let's get started.
Welcome to Tennis Insider Club.
Thomas, thank you so much for being with us today. Our first question is, how did you start with tennis?
I started actually when I was 3 years old.
Okay.
And then when I was 4, I went to a tennis club because I love tennis. And then, so I was playing with my dad and my grandfather. And then when I was 4 years old, I went to this tennis club. And then many kids, it was like a testing day. And then you were supposed to sit down when you missed the ball.
Oh.
Okay. But I was the last one standing. Because I was hitting against everything, against the bathroom door at my grandma's house, and I was completely obsessed with tennis. So then the head coach of the club came up and said to my dad, I think you should put maybe your son in tennis school. And that's how it started. So that became my home club until I was 18 years old. And I was very fortunate because I had good role models in my club. I had great practice in my club. We had many in my age. We were quite strong in Sweden nationally. So, I just loved it. It became, like I told you before, it's a little bit like in your DNA. You just want to play. So that's how it started.
And did you have in mind to be like a professional tennis player or?
Funny enough, yes.
Okay.
So when friends of my parents or my grandparents asked me when I was like 5 years old, they said, so Thomas, what would you like to work with? And I said, I would be a professional tennis player.
Okay.
So I was so determined to play tennis on a professional level. And, but then as you know, it's not easy. You could be talented, you could work hard, but then in the end, you need a little bit of luck and also, to be able to break through in this tough world from juniors to pros. It's very tough. And I was very good as a junior. I won pretty much everything at home in Sweden. I did well internationally as well. But for me, it took longer time to break through in the pros. So I was fortunate to grow up with. So I'm born 1975, and Magnus Norman is born 1976, and then Thomas Enquist is born 1974. So I was the middle one. So I was competing with Thomas, and then I was also competing with Magnus, and we were the number ones in Sweden during that time. And funny enough, we all made it to top 10.
Nice.
Yes, because it's quite rare that at the end the same very good junior make it all to the pro and top 10 even more.
Yes, exactly. But I think we inspired each other. So Thomas, he was 1 year older than I am, and he went very quick up to the pros. So straight from when he was the world number 1 or number 2, whatever, as a junior, he went straight into almost like the top 100. It went so quick for him. For me, it took longer time, and also for Magnus, it took longer time. And I don't know why. We all played differently. Thomas was very powerful. I mean, and he was also very big as a junior, like tall and strong. And Magnus and I were a little bit shorter. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it was that. But no, we had a very strong 74, 75, 76 generation. So that was fun.
Nice.
And I guess being from Sweden, you were playing a lot of indoor, no?
Yes, we played on indoor carpets.
Oh, yeah.
So it was ice, it was so quick. And also when you fell on that carpet, it was like a burning mark. So you had burning marks all over your body. But I think also that helped us with playing so well on grass.
Yeah.
And also indoors, because at my time, since I'm a bit older, indoors was very quick.
And you had more tournament indoor in the past than
Exactly.
now. I mean, men's have a bit more than women's because we barely have any. But in the past, it was bigger indoor season.
Yes. And also, we grew up on indoor carpet, but then we also played a lot on clay, of course. But the weather in Sweden is not that great. So I mean, the months that you can play outdoors are very limited. But I think, Sweden had such a strong history in tennis, starting with Björn Borg, and then Mats Wilander, Stefan Edberg, Joakim Nyström. You had so many, and then you had our generation, and then the last one was Robin Söderling. So I think, like I said, we have a strong history in tennis.
Nice.
And now after, was it when you made it to the pro and enter 100 and you were there, like where you wanted to become a professional tennis player and you accomplished it?
Yeah, it just inspired me more. I won my... I'm so old. So at my time, we had satellite tournaments, which it meant that you had 3 weeks that you played. And then,
I think.
Depending on how you did, you ended up in this playoff. Okay. So, and you had to play all 3 weeks to be able to get your ATP points. So that year when I broke into the top 100, I started the year with winning a satellite in UK. And then I think it was like a month or 2 later, I won my first challenger. So, and then after that, it went quite quick. And then you felt like, I belong here in the top 100. I have the level, I've shown it so many times. And then your goals just increases. You want to be top 75, then you want to be top 50. And then you push yourself harder and harder. So, but breaking into top 100 was a dream, I have to say. That was a first big step, apart from maybe winning your first ATP points. Then,
Yeah, it's a big milestone, no? Because at the end you start also entering the main draws of the Grand Slams. No? It's like a big accomplishment in tennis, not only like because of what it means, no, but like the outcome it has. It really affects on your results and your schedule.
No, I won a junior tournament, I think when I was 17 or something, and the winner got a wild card in an ATP event. And I didn't have any ranking, and I managed to win that tournament. And then I came to Bolzano, and Mats Wilander was there during that time. And I was staying in the same room as my dad. And then when we came back home from dinner one night, the phone was blinking. And I was like, okay, I have a message. Maybe it's mom, called or whatever. And then it was actually Mats Wilander. And Mats Wilander was my big idol, like big idol since I was 10 years old. And he said, hi, it's Mats. I just wanted to check if you wanted to practice tomorrow.
Nice.
So then, first of all, I was able to play with my idol practice. And then I entered the tournament and I beat the guy that was ranked number 17 in the world.
Not bad.
Okay.
So, and then I managed to get to quarterfinal that tournament. And that both helped me, but it also hurt me a little bit because I thought, oh, okay, it's not harder than this.
Yeah, now you have to replicate that every week.
Then I had to replicate, and then I realized that it's a lot tougher. I thought it was very simple. Okay, I beat the numbers 15 or 16 in the world, and then I beat another guy that was like maybe 70, and then I lost in a quarter, 7-6 in the third to a guy that was 70 again. So I was like, okay, I'm here. I'm on top.
I made it.
I made it. And then all of a sudden you lose. And
it happened a bit the same with in Paris with that famous match against Sharapova. No? Like,
it's like on one match or on 1 week.
Exactly.
A lot of things can happen, but tennis is a sport where it's like you have to play the consistent. It's like, yes, of course, if you make great weeks here and there, it's better for maybe a ranking, but at the end you have to be consistent.
Yes.
Yeah. and have realistic expectations, no? Like,
Yeah.
and understand that, you maybe have a lot of potential, but not because you had a good week, it means you're able to replicate it and that you're ready to deliver.
Yeah.
So it took you a while after that to...
Yes, it did. I mean, I went from pretty much 0 to 400 in the world or something like that during that time. So I felt that, okay, now it's just to do the same next week. But like you said, it's very, very difficult. Very difficult. And of course, you can maybe have an upset here and there because people, they don't know you.
Yeah.
But it's also very difficult to go from juniors, where you were the star, to pros, where nobody cares.
And you start losing every week also.
Exactly, because they're a lot stronger, they're a lot more experienced, they know how to play. So it's a challenge. But so that, I would say, it was a big breakthrough for me, but it also hurt me a little bit at the same time.
It was mainly because of your own expectations, or also like your team around, or I don't know if the media in your country start to also like put too much pressure?
It was not so much pressure, it was more pressure from myself. I thought it was this easy, you know, and it showed me many times that it's not. So but then it was tough to lose against guys that were maybe they have 1 point or no points, and then I was like, I beat the top 20 guy, you know, a couple of months ago. Why can't I do this?
Yeah.
So, but it's a challenge.
Now with your experience of going through that moment, and also now being a coach and everything, to a young player in junior, being very good in junior, trying to transition, what would be your advice?
Well, the advice is that it will be difficult. It doesn't matter how good you are, because these players that you will face, most of the time they're stronger, they're more experienced, and they know how to deal with youngsters coming up. And you know how it is when you play a youngster. Sometimes when they're serving for the match or whatever, or they serve for the set, all of a sudden you make them play. And then they shoot left, right, and center. It can happen sometimes. So it is a big challenge to go from being very good as a junior to the pros. But just be patient. If you do the job, and if you trust your coach, listen to what he says, and the fitness coach and everyone, because you need to get stronger, you need to get more experienced, and you also need to be on the court for a longer period of time. It's not maybe enough with 35, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. If you play best of 5, you know, you can be out there for 5 hours. So it's a different sport.
Yeah.
And you went to win your first slam in Australian Open.
Yes.
2002.
Yeah.
How was it? Was your goal this year, or it was more like...
No, you know what? I came into the tournament with no expectations at all, and I felt I did the preseason very good. I was very, very strong physically, and practicing at home, I felt okay. I mean, this could be not winning, but it could be like a good Australian swing. And I played like shit. and I was like, I said to my coach and my wife, I said, let's go back home. So after, I think it was Sydney, I lost first round, or maybe it was India, I don't remember, or quarters or whatever. I said to my wife and my coach, let's leave. Let's go back home. Let's focus on the indoor season. I can't play here. It's impossible. It was windy and, you know.
Yes.
And, but then I remember I think we were in Sydney. And my coach took me out in the park, and I was grumpy. I was irritating. I was not pleasant to be around. He took me out in the park, and I still know the park. He absolutely executed me. He said, you run until I tell you to stop. So he ended up me vomiting with a big tree, and I think the tree is still there. I don't know if maybe it died after, but and after that, I didn't have energy to complain anymore, because he emptied the tank completely, and I went in with 0 expectations.
Interesting.
And
what ranking did you had more or less before?
Top 20.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think I was seeded 16 or something in the draw. And then he just said, we just make one commitment before the first match. You fight. You fight, you run for everything. I don't care about the level, but you fight and you don't complain. and I didn't have any energy to complain because I had to save the energy for the match.
Yeah.
So and then the first match was a tough one. I didn't play well. Second match, very tough one, didn't play well. Third match, I started to play well. So, and I beat El Ainaoui from Morocco, a guy that I was struggling to play. I beat him in 3 or 4 sets, played really well. That's when I felt, now I start to feel it again, what I felt a month before. So I managed to find it. And then after that, I just played, it was like stairs. It was like just better. And then in the final, I managed to play my best tennis ever. So
interesting
So you went from like
to be able to.
having like no confidence
yes,
and being like killed by your coach
Yeah.
to being like in the flow zone and like,
yes.
Peaking on your in the final.
Well,
okay, we go running tomorrow.
but I mean, for my whole career, I was very good at building confidence. You know, building meaning that, okay, I had zero expectations. And then after the first match, okay, I was proud of myself because I won.
Yeah.
And I was fighting. I was not proud of the level that I produced. Second match, the same. So when I was sitting in the locker room, it was one part of me that said, you're freaking useless. I mean, you cannot play tennis. And the other one was, very good job. You were fighting. You did everything that your coach told you to do. And I'm sitting here with a win, you know? So that's why I was good. I was very good building. Very rare. I played a good match and then I played a terrible match the next day.
Okay.
So I managed to build not only during matches, but especially in matches, but I could also build in practice. So it's like you build a house, you build a foundation Monday, Tuesday, and then you start with the bricks Wednesday, Thursday.
It's not easy to, I mean, obviously you get confidence from practice, but sometimes if you do like good practices and you don't get the matches, it's like hard to build that.
Yeah, that's, you know, we might come to that as well. But now when I work as a coach and now what I've been working with both women and men, this is one of the biggest differences I see because men can build. Women, they are more emotional, so they can, you know, for example, when I was coaching Maria Sakkari here, she played probably one of the best women's matches I've ever seen in my life, live against Osaka here, beating her in 2 sets. I was so happy and we were so proud. And then next day she was going to play Kontaveit, which is a very tough match. But there I saw for the first time the biggest difference between men and women. And since I've been coaching more men and also more women, I can see a little bit of pattern, you know? And because the women are a little bit like, they can play great on Monday, but then on Tuesday, they start from scratch again. While a guy can play well on Monday and then he builds from that match for Tuesday. The match can still be bad on Tuesday, but he can still go into the match feeling quite confident.
And why do you think there's like this big difference?
I always say that women are 10 times smarter than men in everything. And that's why it's so challenging as a coach, working with both men and women and see the differences. Because I think that maybe sometimes if you would coach another woman, you can sometimes relate a little bit. We sometimes have problems to relate because we go like, but why? Like what? You know, like, so, but that's why I think I like the challenge because I like to understand how they think, how they react on things and then try to, you know, teach them how to try to get away from that.
And how do you help women to avoid this maybe pattern of like doing a good match and then the day after maybe like not having the confidence and doubting too much again? Like, well,
many times it's just that, you know, I've tried this path. And it's not working. It's getting very dark and you get very lonely up here. And I promise you, both as a player and as a coach, I've tried the right path. Go left instead. Left is much better. It's so that's what you can do. But it's everyone is different.
Yeah, for sure.
And it doesn't matter if you coach a girl or a guy; they are all different.
Yeah,
how
for
they
sure,
act,
no.
how they see things, how they build confidence, how they act in tough moments.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, at the end, I think that's what makes a great coach, not the ability to like be a good coach to very different types of players, no? Because maybe like to click with with one player, no, maybe you have shared personalities or you're super complementary and like everything is easy, no? But when you see all these like coaches that have been on tour for 20 years and every time they have a new project, it works. Like that's a crazy good skill, no? Like that empathy to understand how can you help different type of people. It's insane.
I think the key is to listen.
Yeah.
Listen and ask questions. That's what I most of the time do, because many players, both men and women, are used to be told what to do.
Yeah.
But I want to get to know, I want to see what you feel and what you think to be able to come with the right.
I mean, it's an adult on the other side, no? It's not a 15-year-old kid where you have to impose, no? I think when you give them options, no, instead of imposing, it's where like also the player grows, no?
Yeah.
Going back to your tennis career, after winning your slam, is there any big change on your like mindset expectations? Like I won one, now I need to win another one. Or
It was a big change. It was a big change because if you know me, I'm quite low key. I'm quite relaxed person. I don't show so many emotions. And you can also see when I won the final, I was in shock. So lifting the trophy, I'm still in shock. Going to the locker room, I'm still in shock. Doing the press, I'm still in shock. But then next day, when I wake up, my wife and I will go for breakfast. And then it hits me, you know? Every single magazine that was on the breakfast table, I'm on the front page. Then it was TV. I was there.
Your life changed.
And then I go like, I've done something that is quite big, you know? And also coming back to, I went to Sweden and of course, journalists. Also, when you go to your first tournament, after, it's a big change. You go in as the big favorites. You have to do things that you haven't done before with media, with different activities, with also the pressure that when you go in, everybody expects you to win. I played Davis Cup straight after as well.
Yes.
Was a bit injured. They throw me in the last final rubber against UK. Played Rosetsky at that time, played on ice indoors. It's not easy. Everybody's okay, but we throw in Thomas. Thomas is going to win.
He's a Grand Slam champion now.
Yeah, he's a Grand Slam champion. He plays the tennis on his life. It's easy. Figure it out. Just go. But so it changes. It changes. But what many people have asked me, did you expect to win more slams? And I said no, because I knew that I was very fortunate. I had a lot of luck, because you need that when you play for 2 weeks. You need to play guys that you don't have, for example, like a terrible record against. So at that time, for example, Sampras lost, I think, fourth round of quarters. Leighton went out as well. Roger went out. Agassi didn't play. I mean, it opened up. So let's say second week, it opened up. And of course, I didn't look at the draw, but every time you go to press, you know how it is. Okay, now you're the highest seed in the, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden things starts to, okay, now I have a chance. But we try to avoid media at that time a little bit, reading newspapers. We didn't have social media at that time.
2002 was easier to handle the pressure than maybe nowadays.
So I stayed away from newspapers. I made very limited amount of interviews, because somewhere I felt that this might be my chance. And when I came to the quarters, I felt that if I can have this level for the upcoming days, I have a big chance. Then things can happen.
And having that feeling didn't put pressure on you?
It did put pressure on me, because I felt that this might be my chance. And especially when I won the quarters, then I was going to play Jiří Novak in the semis, which he's the same age as me. We competed as juniors together. It was a very 50-50 match, you know. But but then going in with Marat in the final, he was the favorite by far. I mean, he should have just do like this with me. But I had the people around me, my wife and my coach that I trusted with my life. So they could also see with me, even though I'm a little bit introverted. I mean, especially my wife can see if, okay, now he's getting tight, or now he's, so we, at that time, the team was small.
Yeah,
You know,
it was
now
different.
it's big.
Yeah.
But now it was only my coach and my wife. That's pretty much it. So they helped me a lot.
Nice.
That's nice.
Mm.
And in your career, you suffered many injuries.
Yes.
We talked a bit earlier about it, but like when you want to keep playing, but your body says impossible.
It's the worst. It's the worst. And the problem that I had was that I had one of my best years, 2002, when I won Melbourne, and I did well the whole year. And then I got injured, and I felt that it was just getting worse and worse and worse, and I had to take painkillers and anti-inflammatory. So in the end of that year, I just went on anti-inflammatory, and it was not helping, and it was my knee. And then in November 2002, I needed a surgery, and I was gone for 14 months.
That's a long time.
So 14 months. So I didn't get the chance to go in as a defending champ in Melbourne, for example. I didn't have the chance to ride on that great year that I had. So I was gone for 14 months. So I came back in January 2004 and started with protected ranking, and then finished 2004 top 30.
So it was
I
good
managed,
comeback.
yeah. So I managed to win Stockholm Open, which at that time was the last tournament of the year, beating Agassi in the final.
Nice.
No, sorry, Kafelnikov. No, Agassi in the final. Sorry, Agassi in the final. And then 2005 came back to top 10 again, and then lost a little bit. And then 2006 was like 11, 12, and then I got hit with the ball in my eye, and was gone for another 5 months.
That's tough.
And then I never came back after that to top 10.
So you never knew to the top 10.
No.
And you retired which year?
2009.
Oh, no, okay.
Yeah.
So also like in a moment where like the sport was changing a lot, with the uprising of Nadal, Djokovic. What were like the main differences you saw between the old generation, Agassi, Pete, you, with the new one?
I was fortunate because I played in the middle of those two big eras. So I played with Becker, I played with Sampras, I played with Agassi. At the same time, I played with Rafa, Roger. I actually played Novak once, and so I was in Andy Murray, Leighton, Roddick, all these guys.
Not an easy time to be around.
No, it was not easy. But at the same time, I think what changed was that you started to understand how to train. You know, you understood how you should train, how you should eat, how you should sleep, what you should drink. At my time, since I'm that old, it was only eating pasta. You have to eat pasta. And then, my wife was shooting me in the head after a while because I wanted to go back to the same restaurant all the time. And Thomas wants carbonara. And she's like, can you please try something else? And I said, I don't care. I need my pasta. So, and also how you trained, for example, what happened with my coach just days before Melbourne would not happen today. That you take your player out and it's pretty much punishing.
And your case worked out, but maybe it's not the best idea.
No, it's not the best idea. So what happened during that time is that people started, or the world of tennis started to understand how to live as a professional tennis player, how to train, how to eat, how to drink, how to recover as well. So at my time, we started with, energy drinks. For
Yeah.
example, you go like, okay, now I'm drinking Gatorade. Gatorade is good.
Sugar in the body.
So, and also what happened is that all the youngsters that came up, they were hitting the ball so hard all the time.
Faster and heavier.
Faster, I would say. And also, how should I say this? I mean, when I came up and I played against Sampras, and I was like a little bit like this, it's my idol, it's the youngsters came up like Roger, Rafa, they go like, who are you? A little bit like that. So they wanted to, this is also a thing that I noticed a big difference. Because I practiced with Roger when he was 16 or 17 in Marseille one year. And he was coached by Peter Lundgren, that is sadly not with us anymore. But yeah, so he spent a lot of time with us, with the Swedish guys. And Peter called me and said, do you want to, the guy that I'm coaching, he's quite good. So would you mind practicing with him? And I said, okay, of course. And we played like a set. And of course, I was 15, 20 in the world. Roger was 800. And maybe it was 6'3" or 6'4" for me, and he was furious. Roger on the court, he was like, "How can I lose to this guy?" And then you saw his progress and development both as a player, but also on the court, because Roger was quite lively when he was younger.
Yeah.
Yes.
And since he spent a lot of time with us, we started to get to know him from when he was 16, 17, all the way. So that changed a little bit. I'm not saying the respect, but
Boldness of
a little bit
Confidence.
confidence. Exactly.
Yeah, well, like that more like American mindset, no?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that changed during that time.
Okay.
So how to live, I would say, with training, recovery, and everything, and also a little bit attitude when you went in against one of the big guns.
Yeah. Interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And then as you get closer to, was it easy for you, the decision to retire?
No, very difficult. Very difficult. It was one of my toughest things in my tennis career, because I stopped 2009 and we got Lucas 2006, and then we were expecting Celine in 2009. So it was a tough time. I mean, it was a great time, family time, but tough time for me to decide. And like I told Caro before, I said, every single time I go on the court, I want to play. I really want to play. So I miss it, because I stopped because I had to stop.
Yeah, you were pushed out of the sport.
Yes, because I had a foot injury and I had the surgery and everything, and everybody said it would be okay, but it couldn't recover. I could practice Monday, could barely walk Tuesday, practice very soft Wednesday, could not walk Thursday, Friday, and then so it was not worth it.
Yeah.
So I had to stop, and this was very, very tough, like very, very tough for me.
Yeah, if your mind wants to still play and compete and love the game, and your body doesn't like cooperate, is very hard to.
Yes, because I still felt that okay, I could not be top 10. I could maybe be between 30 to 50, but still, still maybe make a fourth round in the slam, maybe win a 250 or something like that. But of course, not compete for the big titles. But I felt that I had at least 3 years left in the tank. And that's why I think also you see a lot of players retiring and then they come back.
Yeah.
Because they miss it. Tennis is in your DNA. It's very simple. It's very simple. And especially for me, I had to retire because I had a foot that didn't heal. But I always tell everyone, play tennis as long as you can, as long as your body holds up. Because if your body is not holding up, then of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, because playing with pain is not fun.
No, and you feel like you cannot train as much as you
it's
need
frustrating,
to, and maybe you cannot do the movements that you need to, and then it's tough.
You went straight after you went to coaching, or?
No, I actually, so quite funny story actually. In 2009, Jonas Björkman and myself and 2 other guys, we had the opportunity to be the organization part of Stockholm Open.
Nice.
But it was not done. We were still competing against other companies. And then we had a dinner in Monte Carlo. It was me, my wife, Roger and Mirka, and Ivan Lubicic and Aida, his wife. So we were sitting, and then I said, guys, I might be the new tournament director in Stockholm. And they said, oh, great. Well, I said, nothing is done yet, but if it happens, you both have to come first year. And they were like, they looked at it because Roger and Ivan, they are very good friends as well. So they looked at each other. So I said, okay, more wine, anyone? So it was like wine. And then at 2:00 in the morning or whatever, I said, guys, now if we get it, you have to come. And so we actually shook hands at the table.
After so much wine.
And then we got it, and they both came.
Nice.
So it was great.
It was very
Because
helpful.
Ivan was, I think, top 10 at the time. Roger was the world number 1. And Roger and Ivan played each other in the semis.
Nice.
And Ivan knew that, of course, I mean, maybe the crowd or the organization, they want Roger in the final, of course. But so he was like, he said it's one of his most difficult matches in his life.
Okay.
Because they are very, very good friends as well.
Yeah.
And he knew that maybe the tournament and the crowd and everyone wanted Roger in the final. So it was so fun. And we had so much fun that week.
Who won? Ivan or Roger?
Roger won.
Roger.
So I'm still super, super grateful that they came.
Nice.
So Roger won the whole thing, actually. So it was good.
Cool.
How was this experience as tournament director? Or
Interesting. Because as a player, I was one of those that complained quite a lot. And then when you start working with a tournament, you understand that it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And most of the time, there's an explanation for everything. So I think sometimes players should go behind the scenes a little bit to just have a look how much work it is. And also to to maintain the financial strength of the tournament as well. So you can maybe get the players that you want, with TV, with the crowd, with the venue. And I mean, it's a big challenge, but it kept me in tennis, which I'm very grateful for.
And how did you end up coaching after that?
In 2012, after that, I started to work for H&M. H&M is the fashion company from Sweden. And they decided to go into tennis. So I was the link between the company and Thomas Berdych, which we had for 3 years. So that was a lot of fun as well. So I think it was during that time, we live in the same building as Caroline Wozniacki. So, and we are very good friends. And then my wife and myself and the kids, they were out in Monaco on the beach. And then we met Caroline and her dad, and then they came up and, like we always do, and chatted a little bit. And then they left. And then I don't know if it was Caroline or Piotr, they came back and said, what about the coffee tomorrow? I said, yeah, sure. So, and then they asked me, would you like to help Caroline?
Nice.
So I was working with Caroline for almost, I think, 7 or 8 months. So Caroline was my first player to work with.
Not too bad.
She's a great player, but also a great person. So easy to work with.
Nice.
And then I just loved it because
quite an unexpected beginning at the end. No, you were not actively looking to coach.
No. But it's as close as you can get to play. And especially if you coach someone and you've been working on something, and then the player goes out and they actually produce the things that you've been. It's like a win, for me as well. So I was like, I was so excited. And then also when they lose, it's very difficult as well because as a coach, you go like, okay, what could I have done different? Could I have done, could I have said something during the match that could have,
Right.
And so with Caroline, you were working with her father, who was very involved in
Yes.
tennis as well.
Yes.
So for you, it made your beginning easier or tougher to have also?
I think Piotr and Caroline, they have a very strong band. It's because Piotr has always been there for Caroline, but we have a very, very good relationship. I mean, I have both with Piotr, but also with Caroline, and now with the whole family because they. So no, it went really well, I have to say. And Caroline was so much fun to work with, so much fun to work with, and also made it easy because we live in the same building, so it's super, super easy. So I think, working with Piotr and Caroline just inspired me more to start coaching.
What was the hardest part for you of coaching?
Wow, it's no, but I mean, it's so much fun to coach, I have to say. But of course, the tough thing is sometimes could be the traveling. If it's a long stretch like here or Australia or Asia, being away from the family. Now my kids are big, so it's a bit easier. But losing when you have match points and things like this, you go like, oh my God, and then you go back to your own matches and also like I said, if I would coach you, for example, and you have 3 match points and you lose, I mean, could have said something, could have done something, could have, all these questions. And then also for me, the tough thing, both as a player and as a coach, is that it's millimeters between the happiest day of your life and disaster. And that is also, as a coach, it's very tough. But as a coach, you also have to be, even though you're freaking dying and crying inside, you have to show the player that you have to support the player. Okay, next time we have it, and then when the door closes to the hotel, then you can smack rackets or you can. But that I think that is the most difficult thing. When you see that your player does everything, fights, competes, does everything, and still goes down, it's tough. It's tough.
And when you had the moment of a player missing confidence or was very down, how do you try to help them?
I try to learn a little bit from my career, and the mistake that I've made many times is that, for example, let's say you play a match on Monday, and then by Saturday morning, you've been practicing the whole week and you're prepared and everything, and Saturday morning you have a terrible hit. You go up to your coach straight away. Can you book another one? Book another one, please. And then you go, okay, we can book another one. And in my career, it also sometimes ended up me practicing 3 times that day just to try to find this thing. And then I go like, what the hell is wrong with me? I've been practicing 3 times today just to feel good for tomorrow. And then my coach took me aside and said, listen, sometimes it's there. You're not losing it, okay? So what I try to do with the players sometimes is that, let's say you have had a good practice, days, and then Saturday morning, it's not bad. It's not good. And then, of course, the player comes to me and says, okay, now, and I said, no, let's go and play some golf. Just relax. Or let's go to the mall. Let's go to the movies. Let's just relax, okay? Because it's there. You don't have
just
to,
a bad day.
You don't have to chase it, okay? It's there. Relax. Let's try to focus on tomorrow. This is something that I try to tell my players. Take a step back. You're not going to lose your forehand. You're not going to lose your back. You're not going to lose your serve. It's there. So,
and the job is done already, no? Like, it's not because that you do 2 hours more the day before that
nothing is going to change.
Yeah.
Nothing is going to change. So take a step back and talk about other things. And that's also what I try to do as a coach. Intense on the court, maybe 20 minutes after, then we leave tennis. Then we don't talk about tennis, we talk about other things. We talk about, could be cars, could be movies, could be whatever. Just relax your mind.
Yeah, finding that balance, no, like being happy in life and having other things, no,
Yes.
probably like being a bit less obsessed can be helpful, no? As long as you put the hours of work.
Yes.
If it's so important for you at the end, maybe you arrive to the match and you're so tight that you will not put a single ball in.
No.
Interesting.
Because it's nothing to do with your tennis. On Saturday morning, it has nothing to do with your tennis. It's just your mind that starts to prepare you, because on Monday it's going to be a fight, and then you get tight, you get nervous. Am I at the right spot where I want to be? You always question yourself. So it's not your tennis. It's your mind that plays game with you. So just step out, relax.
And on that mental side of tennis, you try to use mainly your experience as a player, or also as people are changing and generation are changing? How do you try to use to help your player?
I try to listen a lot. I'm not the guy that says it's this. It's what I'm telling you is the right thing. No. I have a few people around me that I always, if it has something to do with tennis, I have maybe 2-3 people that I always ask. If it's about life in general, I have 2-3 people that I always ask. If it's about the stock market, I have 2-3, So I have my group of people for different things. And then I also have 2 kids. Lucas is 19 and Celine is 16. So of course I learn from that as well.
Yeah, they keep you updated.
They keep me updated. And I mean, if you look now, I mean, you have some guys and girls that are around that age and they're still top 100. Some of them are top 50.
Yeah.
So the win and some are top 10.
And so I think it's very important to try to be updated all the time.
Yes, fair enough.
And try to learn and try to be humble. Don't feel competition. Competition, I know what I'm capable of. I don't have to tell anyone. But try to be humble, try to listen and try to learn. And sometimes you are wrong, and especially if you have, like I said, you have these, if it comes to tennis, I have maybe 2-3 people that I ask, and then these 2-3 people says the same thing. And I go like, why didn't I think about that? So that's what's good. So I've been fortunate to have very good people around me that I trust in different areas of life.
Yeah, that's like so important at the end, to surround yourself with like experts, that can help you, because even if you're very talented, like you need to learn, like you need to keep growing.
Yes.
And so right now you're coaching Kei Nishikori.
Yes.
In the past, so you coach Maria Sakkari, Surstea, Goffin. To coach someone who have been at the top in the past and then have been struggling a lot with injury, how good, what is the bad and the good?
It is different. I mean, players are different. The culture in different countries are completely different.
Sure.
So, working with Kei is, it's a lot of fun, because I have never worked with a more talented and skilled player than Kei. Sometimes when I'm sitting in the stands, it feels like I have a joystick in my hand, so I just say, okay, go a little bit more to the slice a bit more. He's so skilled as a player, but he's Japanese. Okay. So it means that he's not communicating so much. So that for me was a challenge in the beginning. So when I started working with him, I asked because we have the same agent since before. I spoke to Michael Chang, that's been working with Kei very successfully. I spoke to Max Mirny. I spoke to all the people, and I said, so how is Kei as a person? How is he as a player? How is he outside the court? So entering that collaboration, I knew a little bit what to expect. So that helped me a lot. And that's what I try to do if, for example, if I if we stop and I get a chance to coach another player, I make my research a little bit before,
Yeah.
so I know what I have to deal with a little bit. But it's been a challenging time because he's had big injury problems.
Yeah.
And it's very frustrating because when you see that the level is there, and then, I have pain in my shoulder, I have pain in my knee, I have, also the mindset with that he has been top 5.
Yeah.
He's been in the slam final. He was most of the time like semis, finals all the time. And then he's 35 now and he's working his way back. But I've seen so many times that, we practice with the top guys and he can still compete with those guys. The consistency, like we spoke about before, is tougher because he's 35.
Yeah.
He cannot play maybe a full schedule. We have to be smart with what we play. But what I'm so impressed of by him is that, for example, if I say we need to play challenger, he's like, okay,
Humble, no? Yeah.
humble. While many top players would, if I would say, let's play challenger, they would look at me and they say, no,
You don't
I'm
know
not
who I
playing
am.
challenger. Do you know what I've achieved in my career? That I love about him. He doesn't care if he plays US Open or a challenger. Last year we played, I don't know how many challengers. And also with everything around, you come to a tennis club. It's not a venue like this. It's a tennis club with 5 courts.
Yeah.
And they they warm up the food in the microwave and and it's not like here. So that's what I love about him. He doesn't care if it's a 5-star hotel or a 2-star hotel or US Open or like a small challenger or whatever. He is there to compete.
Yeah, he just
Because
loves the game.
He loves the competition. So it's been a challenge, but now I'm not going to jinx it, but now he is physically very good.
Good.
Nice.
First time in a long time, he's physically very good.
Nice.
So now I'm very excited. I know he hasn't played since Geneva the week before French Open. So of course I'm not expecting anything big here. If he can go in and play the full match without pain, it's a win. you
Yeah,
know?
it's a win.
Yeah, one step at a time at the end. Yeah.
Yes.
And we had Tom Hill in
Yes.
the podcast. And so you were, I don't know how you say, coaching Maria Sakkari, and he was
Yes.
eating partner.
Yes.
And he told us that he learned a lot from you, and still now you guys are very in contact.
Yes, we are.
And how is it important for you to try to share knowledge or
Yeah, give back to younger
Yeah.
generations
Yeah.
of coaches, no?
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, for me it's very important. And Tom came in more like an assistant coach because I was traveling 24/7 with Maria and I was gone for a long period of time. And I told Maria that we need to find someone to help out a little bit. And then we found Tom. And Tom came in more like I would say like an assistant coach and hitting partner. And then we spent so much time together, and he's the best, nicest guy I've ever met. And he listens a lot. He wants to learn. And, when we were sitting having dinner and then maybe Maria went to bed and then we were sitting and then we were talking about my career, about my previous coaches, everything. So I think we had a great connection from the first day. And then after a while, I just felt that he's a way better coach than me, for Maria especially. And then so when we stopped working, they continued, which I'm super happy about.
Nice.
And she went to number 3 in the world with Tom. They have a great connection, those two also. They're good friends, but respect.
Yeah.
They respect. Maria respects that he's the coach, even though I think they're the same age.
Yes.
So he's a great coach, great person. He could coach anyone, and he could do a
Yes.
great job.
What advice would you give to young guys that maybe aspire to be coaches? What would be your main tip to them?
try to find like a mentor. I think it's very important to try to find someone that you can talk to. If you coach young juniors, professional players, you can say, we have this issue. What have you done in the past? Can you help me? And listen and ask questions. This is something that I feel is very important. I see many coaches, they are a little bit like, what I'm saying is right. Okay, just sit down, listen, don't say anything.
Yeah.
And this is not my philosophy. I want to get to know you. I want to know how you feel 5-all, 15, 30-second serve. I want to feel what do you, So listen and ask questions. This is something, and try to find someone that you can rely to a little bit.
Yeah.
Nice. That's pretty good advice.
Hello.
They're leaving.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're having a complicated recording. Let's see what we can do with the music. It's going to be a fun episode.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself coach for many more years?
Yes, absolutely. I would like. I think I've always said that if when Kei decides to stop or we stop before whatever happens, I would like to coach a young player
Nice.
and see what I could do. Because that would be a challenge for me. And there are some young ones coming up now that for me, they are attractive, to coach. Because then it's, how should I say, it's like a long-term project.
Yes.
Hopefully,
Yes.
things can happen on the way. We all know that. But it's a little bit of long-term project that now we start in the challenger level. Now we try to maybe win here. Then first time maybe you make main draw of a slam. You know how it is. It's like, whoa, now I am. So that's what I would like to do.
And you have a bigger chance of making an impact, right? At the end, to Nishikori, like, of course you can help, but like the player is built in a way, with a 17, 18, 19 years old guy. There's like the whole thing is still like needs to be done.
No, but it is a little bit like you coach Kei. I mean, you would coach Novak. If you decide to continue, if I would be, I mean, it's you. What can I do? I mean, you're developed as a player. What I can maybe help you with is small things. It's not like I will go in and say, okay, now you have to hit backhand like this or beforehand like that. It's small things that can help, and most of the time it's like tactical things that you can maybe try to help them with. But like I said, Kei is, as a player, he's so skilled and he's so developed. I mean, there's not so much you can do. But if you work with a young one, then you can even go into the technical things that, okay, this we have to change now, because if you don't change it now, you will have difficulties when you go up against the big guns, because they will, I always say they will undress you. They will really push you on your sensitive spots,
Also, like the mental part of the game, because at the end, tennis is like a super mental game, and like you see all these young kids that are like super talented. But as you said before, like they still don't know how to handle the pressure, the big moments, and to help a player, unlock that, has to be like pretty cool.
And it also takes a little bit of time for a player to admit
they need help.
Or I got tight.
Yeah.
I was nervous. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And this is because the generation I see with my son, he's like, when I say, Lucas, you have to fix this visa now when you go to study. And Dad, it's fine. I do it. And then I said, have you done it? No, but it takes 5 minutes, And then all of a sudden you go like, and then he comes 4 days later and says, Dad, this visa, it took a little bit longer time than that. So they are so confident. Until you undress them a little bit, what I'm saying. And that's what happens when you step on the court. If you're young and you go up against the big guns, they will show you where your weak spots are,
When a man player or a woman player get nervous, do you feel difference on the court?
No, I don't actually, because they are you react differently when you get tight. Some players they overhit. Some players they don't hit at all. So I don't see a difference between guys and girls, because you have guys that when they're getting tight they go for a lot more. Same with girls, and you also have guys that when they feel tight, 2 steps back and start pushing, and it's the same with the girls. So but I think that's like I said, that's why I love both sides, both WTA coaching a female player and a male player, because they are different in many times also how they react, or not when they get tight or nervous, but when they see things. For me, women have a tendency of not looking over on the other side and look a little bit what's happening over there with her, and they prefer to look at themselves and okay, now I have to do this, instead of a guy maybe sometimes when he's limping a little bit to the changeover, he goes like, okay, now we have to. That's also a thing, playing against an injured player. It's the same with guys and girls. Guys can be defensive and start, not hitting the ball. So it's there. I think they're a little bit different, but they're the same. But when looking over on the other side, there you feel a big difference. Guys are a little bit more better to see.
Yeah, it seems more like a chess
than
game.
the girls, but that's why that's again what I'm saying. That's why it's interesting to when, for example, when I've been coaching the girls, I said, "Did you see what happened on the other?" She was not feeling. She was in an argument with the box or whatever.
Yes.
She was bouncing her racket. Really, So it's
Yeah, it's true. Like sometimes we talked about it, like, hey, Caro, you're nervous, but look on the other side, like,
yes.
just keep pushing, because she's also struggling. So
we had a match in one of the
Wuhan.
one of the best matches when I was coaching Maria against you, when you played lights out. It was I was so impressed with your level that day, and I think you won the whole thing. Now it was like it was a different level. We were fighting, and the winners were left, right, and center, and aces. And Maria was like, "What?" And I said, enjoy. You have the best seat in the house." So no, but I remember that. I remember that match. It was and that was one of the first times Maria made a big result as well.
Yeah, she was on the way up.
Yeah. So it was so much fun to
nice
see that one, and we played as good as well as we could, but no chance.
It was a good week for me.
Yeah.
It was quick court, so it was nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're getting close to the end, no? So
Yes.
what advice would you give to your younger self?
Many. I don't know how long your podcast is, but
As long as you want.
one of my I was very hard on myself, very, very hard on myself, and I don't know why, but I was. My biggest weakness on the court was that I could really lose my head, and I was never aggressive towards my opponent or my coach or I was hitting on myself, and also I told myself that I could not play on clay, which was complete. It was not correct, because I had big results as a junior on clay. I had big results on challenger level on clay, but then all of a sudden I just felt that I can't play on clay, and this was something that was so stupid. And looking back, coming back to what I said, you asked me about advice for coaches. I should have asked my idol at the time, Mats Wilander, when I was 22, 23, saying that I have this mindset that I can't play on clay. And maybe brought him for 2-3 weeks, even though I was still working with my coach. But brought him for the clay court season, just as a little bit of support advice. because I had him as a Davis Cup captain, and I hated when it was windy. Always hated to play when it was windy. I lost my head in 2 seconds. But then I spoke to Mats, and he said, and I said, "Didn't you feel like this?" And he said, "No, never." Because he said, "I'm a professional. I should be able to handle this. If there's one person around this table that should be handling, the hard wind and everything, or the tough atmosphere on court, it's me. Now I have the possibility to show how good I am." Never, after that day, I didn't even complain about the wind anymore. So I saw it as a challenge. Okay, now let's see who's the most skilled player, you or me.
That's a good one.
So
I never heard that one.
Yeah,
I like it.
Nice.
I like it because
So that's why I think that on this tour you could be coaching, but you could also be a little bit of a mentor of another coach or another team. But then it has to be, if you coach on a men's tour, it has to be maybe on the women's tour or with a very young player.
Yeah.
So I think that we have so many coaches out here with a lot of experience and knowledge that could help more players, not only one.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's an interesting topic.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thanks for
always
inviting me.
appreciate it. Yeah, it was
We
a
appreciate
pleasure. Yeah.
Yes.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next episodes. And it will mean the world to me if you can share this episode with someone you think will enjoy it. Thank you and see you soon!